Hello everybody, welcome to Karmic Palms. Today we're going to be discussing about why you should protect your assets, whatever you've saved up till now in your life, as you retire, when you get old. There are some signs that you need to take a look at in your palm. If you have them, how you can protect yourself, what you need to be careful of people and things like that. Okay, I'm going to discuss this in detail. Before we do, please subscribe. And if you want to get your palm analyzed, do WhatsApp us. Now, often, most of us, we work, or we either do business to a certain point in life, and then we want to retire by whatever we've saved and things like that, and it becomes a very important thing in our life, our savings. Either it could be in a form of properties, it could be in the form of wealth in your bank, or some sort of investments that you've done in stocks and shares. I don't know, whatever it is. Now, how do you protect that and you keep for a long time so that people don't take advantage? And if they do, if you have chances of people taking advantage, now where can these things come from? Where do you see these signs if somebody is going to take advantage of me and things like that? I'm going to show you that. Okay. Now, say this is your lifeline, your mind line, your heart line, your fate line. Okay. And let's say this is your business line. I'm just drawing the basics. Where do you see these lines? Where do you see these signs? Now, the first and foremost, the threat, if it comes internally. For example, let's say everybody has lines here. You have lines here. Some people have, some people don't. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you as a thing. Generally, lines are like this. Okay, you see these lines? They're normally like this. And then you have lines like this. Correct? Most people have this. Now, there are certain lines that you see. For example, if there is any line from here going across on top like this, or it could be this line here, which goes up like this. If you have more than one, even one is bad, but let's say you have one or two or even three, some lines go like this halfway. If you have signs like this, you have to be very careful of your siblings, of your children. Okay, if you don't have children, you have to be very careful of your close relatives, like your sister's children, your brother's children, things like that. You have to be very careful. Why? Because when you have signs like this indicates in your old age. Now, see, you are always in control till you become, you're not in control. You might be in control to a certain age in life, but after a certain age in life, you become helpless. Every human being goes through this process. Okay, you're in control and then you're not in control. Why? Because you age. Everybody ages, everybody has to go through that process. Now, when you go through that process, let's say you're here in life, you become helpless. You depend on your children, you depend on, your grandchildren, things like that starts happening in your life because you have aged. You won't be able to move, you won't be able to walk. Some people who are fit, they could be physically fit, but mentally they're not. Some people be mentally, and some people have both. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say here is, if you have something like this, when you come to a certain point in life, when you have to depend on somebody, this is the time where, when you have signs like this, people will move in and they will start taking things away from you. What kind of things? Your assets, your savings, everything else. Certain cases that we have predicted, we have seen it happened, that they have been taken everything away from them, their house. They had multiple houses, they used to get rents, and they used to get pension, they used to get rents, and this old couple used to be very, very happy, and they had worked really hard all their life. And then you have useless children, people who don't want to work, people who don't want to do things, and they just want to leech off whatever they have from the parents and things like that. There are also families like that. There are also children like that in this world. So some cases that we have seen, that they have lost everything, these elders, and they have been kicked out of the house. Some have been thrown into old home, basic necessity, places where they hardly have anything, not even a good home. They're just thrown into places where, to suffer. So the old age becomes suffering. The end days is filled with regret, is filled with sadness, is filled with sorrow. So you have to be very careful. When you have signs like this, do not take things for granted. The love, my children will never do anything, my children will never hurt me, they'll never do things like that. Yes, understood, but life changes. You don't know who they marry into. You don't know who they bring in. If it's a girl, God knows what kind of guy they marry and come. You don't know what, if it's a guy, they don't know what kind of girl they marry and come. So you have to be very careful when you have signs like this. Protect yourself. Make sure that you don't end up in problems in your old age, because at that time there will be nobody to help you out there. Okay, so this is one sign that you need to be very careful of. There's another sign here. I think I've shown this in another video, but I'm going to show it here also, so you be a bit careful. If you have any signs like this, which comes like this and it goes up like this, or it can be broken like this, but you will see a pattern emerging when you see something like this. If you stare at it, if you stare at your palm, you'll see a pattern emerging. It could be like this, or it could be like this, it could be like this. When you see anything coming in from the Venus mount like this means there will be internal problems. Internal problems from your family. It could come from your uncle, it could come from your aunt, it could come from your siblings, it could come from anywhere. This means internal. We don't know where it comes from, but there will always be an internal problem. This also means they will take you to, to the cleaners basically. You have to be very careful, because there will always be sabotage missions happening behind your back, to ruin you, to sabotage your projects, your business, your job. There will always be somebody who is planning and plotting against you, who is close to you. This won't be from outside, this will be from inside. So you have to be very, very careful if you have something like this. And if you have any signs here, if you have any signs here, if you have issues like this, like say like this, it comes and you have issues like this here, depending on your mount here. If you have lines like this also indicates legal issues. So let's say you have a property, somebody will put a case against you, they will want that property away from you. So basically all this process will happen. It might take decades, because you know how the system works. It might take decades, so decades of heartbreak. How could this person done this to me? I trusted this person the most and it happened. It will come from the person who you least expect will do it. So always protect yourself from things like this. Okay, don't be vulnerable. Don't get stuck in the end thinking that being naive and not thinking about and not planning, because it can come from anywhere and it will always be somebody who's close to you. Okay, your family member. I hope this helps. Please subscribe. And if you want to get your palm analyzed, do WhatsApp us. It's in the description box. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.